It is Sunday, May 30, 2021. I'm Lights Camera Jackson. Welcome to LCJ Live. Hope you're having a nice Memorial Day weekend, and the box office is back. I mean, it already was back, and as I've been saying for a long time, it will take big movies to get people back. It happened with The Croods, in a way. It happened with Tenet, in a way. It really happened with Godzilla vs. Kong, and Tom and Jerry to an extent, and now A Quiet Place Part 2, and Cruella. Cruella, with a solid start of $21.3 million, one of the top 5 biggest opens of this comeback of the movie theaters since September, actually since the end of August. But look at A Quiet Place Part 2, $48.4 million. Congratulations. That nearly matches the 3-day start, technically 3.5, Thursday night to Sunday, of the first Quiet Place from April 2018, which made just over $50 million. So close to matching that. All things considered, that is fantastic. Paramount estimating a $58 million 4-day weekend for A Quiet Place Part 2, which is tremendous for where we are right now. People want to see this movie. It's in the theaters exclusively. I don't love the film, but a lot of people want to go see this, experience it together on the big screen, everybody hopefully being quiet as they're watching A Quiet Place Part 2. $58 million for the 4-day is very, very good. Send in your questions and your comments. I can read them here now today here on LCJ Live. Send them in if you got thoughts on what's going on with the box office, what's going on with theaters. Again, $48.4 for the 3-day for A Quiet Place Part 2. And $21.3 million for Cruella. Cruella, a film I also do not like. What happened? Disney director Craig Gillespie, the vision here, not stellar. Very bland, unoriginal, mostly a copycat of The Devil Wears Prada. What happened with Cruella? The only stellar aspect of Cruella is the fashion, the costumes. The costume design is excellent. Could see that go all the way to the Oscars next year. And speaking of the Oscars, how about them, the Academy, deciding we're going to move to the end of March instead of the end of February, and instead of the end of April this year, we're going to the end of March. March 27, 2022 for your next Academy Awards ceremony. It's going to extend out the award season again. Do we really need this again? Oh, come on. Did the Academy learn nothing? The fact that nobody cared about the movies by April 25 to watch the show? Ugh. I'm not a fan of this decision. You want to get through the award season. You want it to be exciting and the momentum and the fun. It was actually exciting, the 2020 award season from January to early February, Feb 9, when it was an award show a week, and yes, some people grew tired of it, but boy, it jam-packed that season, and it was exciting for entertainment analysts. It was fun and enjoyable. What's up, Shellfish Beach? Thanks for being here on LCJ Live. It was exciting to have an award show a week, and boom, 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 and the rapid pace and getting everybody through it, and now you're just going to drag it out again. I don't know. Critics' Choice is kicking it off, though, which is exciting, on January 9 on the CW. My question is, I don't know if the Critics' Choice people knew in advance of the Academy's decision that this was going to happen. Will they actually move the show now, or do they still want to be out in front early no matter what? That is the question, and we will see what happens over the next several weeks as we get into the awards season buzz, certainly in the next few months, and 6 months, 8 months. Happy to see you can see comments again, Shellfish Beach. Thank you very much. Yeah, Twitter disabled a lot of stuff on the laptops, and now I'm on got another phone here in order to be able to see the comments. But when Twitter and Periscope ended their relationship, that was a downer when it came to doing things like this. But yeah, over the next couple weeks, I think maybe this is the period of time where Critics' Choice says, do we make the decision to change? Do we not? Where's SAG gonna go? How does the LA Super Bowl and the Olympics play into all of this? Because that's what the Academy is saying. They're saying, we need enough time to get people to promote, to work through. Now, you promoted the Oscars for so long for April 25, and that didn't help at all. So, yeah, it's just excuses. When it comes to a lot of the decisions the Academy has made over the years. By the way, I got my pals Spirit and Lucky here with me because Spirit Untamed opens in theaters this weekend, Thursday. in select theaters, and then Friday everywhere. It's the new DreamWorks animated movie. I talked with Elaine Bogan, the director of Spirit Untamed. That's a new LCJ Q&A podcast episode coming at you tomorrow. Great conversation with her, all about making this new DreamWorks animated movie. The first of 2 DreamWorks movies that are coming in about a 5-week period. Because now the Boss Baby 2 Family Business is coming on July 2nd. So a back-to-back DreamWorks doubleheader. What's up, Psych of Film? Thanks for being here on LCJ Live. I've also got here, hey, Brett Hardy, happy Sunday to you as well. I've got the Friends couch here. I love that Hallmark put out this Friends couch. Have you watched the Friends reunion special yet? I have not, but I have watched some other reunion specials for E! That are coming on very soon. One for All My Children, the other for Queer Eye. And everybody wants to do the reunions because everybody loves nostalgia. Look at the Brady Bunch house specials. Look at all these reunion specials. Everybody loves looking back on their lives and remembering the shows they grew up with and the movies they grew up with. That's why with Josh Gad it worked so well doing that Reunited Apart series. Everybody got sucked into that during quarantine because everybody loves the good times. Remembering the good times. So that's what's going on with the reunions right now. I'm going to give you a few other box office results. Yeah, love what Gad did, says Brett Hardy. Absolutely. Let's see. Dream Horse, 652,000. Spiral, 2.3 million. Raya and the Last Dragon made another 2 million. It crossed the $50 million mark for Disney. Those Who Wish Me Dead at 545,000. Godzilla vs. Kong, another 852,000. It is 1.9 million away from crossing the $100 million mark, which I think it will get to probably before A Quiet Place 2 gets to 100 million. Probably. We'll have to see. I guess there are some reports that maybe Godzilla will be paired up with The Conjuring 3 next weekend in some drive-ins, so we'll have to see if that's true. Mortal Kombat, 260,000 this weekend. It's up to 42 million bucks. I do want to mention a couple passings. Gavin MacLeod, who was, of course, Murray on Mary Tyler Moore and on The Love Boat, he passed away at the age of 90. Also, B.J. Thomas, who did the original version of Hooked on a Feeling. Of course, we all know Blue Suede did that for Guardians of the Galaxy, made that song iconic again. B.J. Thomas, who performed that originally, also passed away this weekend. So a couple passings there. I mean, I've watched some Mary Tyler Moore's, and he was so good, Gavin MacLeod, on those. And of course, people loved him on The Love Boat as well. The Love Boat. Yes. Do you want to hear me sing on a Sunday? I'm not sure you do. But anyway, so rest in peace to both of them. Tuesday night starts Lego Masters Season 2 on Fox. I'm excited because I like this show. I wasn't sure I was going to like Lego Masters when it started last year, but I got into it. Will Arnett, very good as a host, obviously in the Lego world as Lego Batman, and then transitioning into this. And the competition was real. It was legitimate. This wasn't, some for fun thing. It was actually legitimate competition between these teams to see who could be the best at building these incredible Lego creations. So I enjoyed Season 1. I hope Season 2 is fun and a big hit for Fox. They need it with a couple of their reality and game shows not doing so hot recently. Also, tonight is the fifth episode of The Story of Late Night on CNN, and I've really been getting into this show. It explores the history of late night television. And tonight, we're going to hear Conan O'Brien in a new interview talk about what happened with him in The Tonight Show and Leno and that whole fiasco, which I lived through. But we're going to hear Conan say it in his own words just a few weeks now before Conan says goodbye to late night television on his TBS show on June 24th. So that's going to be really interesting. Story of Late Night, 9 o'clock tonight on CNN. I think you're going to want to tune in if you're into late night television to hear Conan O'Brien talk about all of these things. Obviously, with the box office boosting back, we'll have to see how the studios schedule their movies out over the next several weeks. We had Peter Rabbit 2 hop again from June 18 up to the 11th to go up against In the Heights. This weekend we've got Spirit Untamed facing off against The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. Then we'll have In the Heights, Peter Rabbit. Then on the 18th, we got a couple indie releases, but because Peter Rabbit moved, we don't necessarily have a huge major wide release, to my knowledge at this immediate moment. And then on the 25th, we have Fast and Furious 9. Then on 4th of July weekend, we've got the Universal doubleheader, as well as them having Fast and Furious 9. Boss Baby 2 and the Forever Purge. And July 9, we have Black Widow. July 16 is going to be Space Jam 2 and a few others. July 23rd, we're going to have 3 big movies. Snake Eyes, Hotel Transylvania 4, and M. Night Shyamalan's Old. July 30th is Jungle Cruise. August 6th is Suicide Squad. We've got Paw Patrol and Reminiscence on August 20. So there are going to be at least 1 or 2, maybe sometimes 3, big movies every week now, with sort of the exception of June 18, though we'll have to see how things play out. I will say June 18 does have a film in wide release that I watched last night called 12 Mighty Orphans. It's not a huge film in the sense of it being a Sony Classics release, but it is going to go in theaters nationwide, so maybe it'll make a little noise, and I'll share my thoughts with you on 12 Mighty Orphans very, very soon. It's a true story football drama with Luke Wilson and Martin Sheen in the cast. So an interesting look at how the schedule is going. Could some other films move into positions, move up into the summer? We will have to see. The Boss Baby news was a big surprise, but look at what A Quiet Place 2 has done. $48.4 million, almost $58 million for the Thursday night to Monday night gross at the box office. The Paramount is looking at exclusive in theaters. You needed to see it in a theater. You need to do that before it goes to Paramount Plus in about now 42 days. They're giving the theaters an exclusive 45-day window for Quiet Place Part 2, and we'll see how much money it makes before it goes to Paramount Plus. And now with Cruella, Disney doing 21.3 with that this weekend, Thursday night to Sunday night, adding another $5 million or so for the Monday estimate as of now. But that film also on Disney Plus for that $30 extra fee. So the question is, how many people watch Cruella at home? How many are going to see it in the theaters? Warner Brothers with HBO Max still doing that combination. I'll get to Rugrats in a second, Brett Harity. HBO Max and Warner Brothers still with that combo. With some of their films, including Those Who Wish Me Dead. Now going to have it with The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. What percentage of people stay home to watch The Conjuring versus go to the theater? And then the very next week, In the Heights, which I believe also was scheduled for June 18th in the theaters and then moved up to the 11th. What percentage of people go see that in the theater versus watch it at home? A big musical like that, which I saw now. Let's see, that was Mother's Day, so that was 3 weeks ago now. Wow, In the Heights, yeah. So I've already seen that. A lot of people saw it when the free screenings happened over Mother's Day weekend. Yes, Paramount Plus, which is the home of the new Rugrats reboot, which started the other day, and I talked with the executive producers of that show, and that LCJ Q&A podcast episode is at lcj.podbean.com. It's fun. I was able to screen an episode of it before talking with the producers, and the CG look I like for the characters. I really do. They take it from hand-drawn, and what's interesting is they didn't even think early on that it was going to be CG. They thought they were doing hand-drawn again. So that's really interesting, and now we've got this reboot on Paramount Plus, which hopefully will do well for that streaming service, and then they'll get A Quiet Place 45 days after the open, so about 42 days from now. I know there were some rumblings online of people wondering, well, Disney's got to be looking at Paramount and what A Quiet Place 2 has done and doing more than double of what Cruella did this weekend and saying, okay, do we make Black Widow exclusive to theaters, or do we keep the simultaneous Disney Plus debut? Same thing with Jungle Cruise. Because Black Widow doesn't have any direct competition, nobody wants to go up against a Marvel movie, and I think the majority of people want to see Black Widow in a theater. I don't think they're going to change that. The fact that Luca, which is on June 18, the new Pixar movie, which I hope to be screening in a day or two, fingers crossed, the fact that that is exclusive to Disney Plus, I don't agree with that decision. I think families would want to see that in a theater, and because of that, because Disney is taking themselves out of that equation, you're going to have Universal and DreamWorks do really well, hopefully, with Spirit Untamed this weekend. Sony do really well with Peter Rabbit 2, and then DreamWorks and Universal do really well with The Boss Baby 2 over 4th of July weekend before Space Jam 2 and Hotel Transylvania 4. You're going to have them do really well. All that money that Disney is missing out on, I think they're making a mistake by not also putting Luca in the theaters. But, hey, that's where we're at. These studios are making decisions based on how they're feeling now and how they're looking into the future, but it's tough to sort of map that out. What Paramount is celebrating today, not only the fact that Quiet Place 2 has done as well as it has, is that they made the decision to move it up. I remember when A Quiet Place Part 2, first of all, was going to come out March 2020. And then they pulled it on the 12th, which was the day when everything went to hell. And so then they pulled it. They thought they were going to move it to Labor Day of last year. And then that didn't happen. And then they said, we're not sure what's going to happen yet. Then they said, I don't remember what the next move was. It might have been April, but then they said September. They said September of 2021. And I remember thinking, gosh, you got to put these out at some point. You know, everybody's just, especially for that movie, which was the one that was going to be the very next weekend, and then it got pulled. It's like all these actors, producers, directors, they want to see these come out at some point. You got to let it go. But they waited, and then they were wise in saying, you know what, we're going to take a chance on Memorial Day weekend. We're going to give Memorial Day weekend a shot. And I remember hearing that and going, okay, there's some optimism there. Yeah, they could probably move it again if things don't get better. But Paramount had the foresight to see, you know what, we're going to give this a chance. We think maybe, as of now, maybe, that things will be better by Memorial Day weekend. And they ended up being correct. And they made a great call. Not only dominating the weekend, but beating out a Disney movie. That's hard to do. Especially with the star power of Emma Stone and Emma Thompson and Cruella DeVille and another origin story like Maleficent and many of the others that have come before it, to do that, but with a big brand and a movie that people have wanted to see. Not easy to do, and so I credit Paramount a lot. Now, Top Gun Maverick was supposed to come out 4th of July weekend, and I bet they're all saying, oh gosh, we could have done really well with Top Gun Maverick, but Tom Cruise said, I want to do a global press tour, and they listened to him, and they got to listen to Tom Cruise. So they're going to lose 4th of July weekend not having Top Gun Maverick. They are. They may make up for it a little bit with Snake Eyes at the end of July and Paw Patrol the movie in August, but because we don't know where things are going to be in November when it gets cold again, and when some older people who love Tom Cruise may not want to go out as much as they do right now in the better weather. So I think Top Gun's a loss. I really do for them for the year. But if they just keep making a ton of money for A Quiet Place 2, maybe it'll soften that blow a little bit. So yeah, really interesting to take a look at everything. The Paramount versus Disney showdown next weekend, the Warner Brothers versus Universal showdown, going up against week 2 of Cruella and A Quiet Place. And then you'll have the Warner Brothers Sony showdown. And then also, by the way, I forgot, because it's on a Wednesday, you know what's out the June 18th weekend is Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, which actually comes out on Wednesday the 16th, and Lionsgate is even doing Friday and Saturday early showings in select theaters nationwide on the 11th and 12th to try to get some of the people away from seeing In the Heights. Whoop, there go my spirit pezzas. To get people away from seeing In the Heights and Peter Rabbit 2 on that direct weekend, they're doing these screenings of Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. So that film is the big one for that June 18th weekend. Again, a brand and a movie that did well a few years ago with Sam Jackson and Ryan Reynolds that people would probably want to see again. This duo again, along with Salma Hayek and Antonio Banderas and Morgan Freeman. So you do have that in the equation as well. So it's going to be interesting to see these showdowns over the next several weeks. See how the box office does. See what kind of holds A Quiet Place and Cruella can have. See how these other movies will do. I'll have my rapid review of Spirit Untamed on Tuesday. And my thoughts on some more movies during the week. Of course, go to lights-camera-jackson.com. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at LCJ Reviews. Instagram at LightsCamJackson. YouTube.com/LightsCameraJackson. Facebook as well. LCJ.podbean.com. AnimationScoop.com. Culture.com. It's got my Quiet Place review as well. And be sure tomorrow to honor those we have loved and we have lost. And remember everyone who has meant a great deal to all of us on Memorial Day. Ending the month of May, 5 months into 2021. And we'll get into June, and we'll get into the June films and the real summer movie season. The summer movie season used to start, I mean, I remember when it was Memorial Day weekend, and then they shifted it to the beginning of May. Sometimes it was even the end of April, depending on when the Marvel movie wanted to come out. But now this year, we're back to the summer movie season really being Memorial Day weekend kicking it off. It's refreshing to see that again. And a little refreshing for it to not be a big Marvel movie that kicks it off. It is a little refreshing. But I am looking forward to Black Widow on July 9, and we'll see how all of these movies continue to do in the theaters and at home. Stay safe. Abide by your theater's guidelines. There are some theaters now, you don't have to wear a mask inside. You don't have to wear a mask in the lobby. Drive-ins still have specific rules in specific places because the snack bars are a little smaller in a lot of cases and distancing. So just abide by whatever the rules are. When I saw Quiet Place Part 2 the other night, which was a screening at a Landmark theater, they still required me to wear a mask if I wasn't eating or drinking in the theater while watching the movie. So I did that. So just when you're going to your theater, make sure you know what the rules are and abide by them. That's it. And enjoy the movie experience. Enjoy that theatrical movie experience again. Help out these theaters. Help out the studios. And we're here now. It's summer. It's great. I think it's great. I'm looking forward to a lot of big movies coming. And I will see you next Sunday in the month of June here on LCJ Live. Take care, everybody. Thank you so much for watching.